And if you're just joining us, we're talking about some comments that Plies made over the weekend. Let's listen.
But to everybody who, especially the ones who look like me, and the men who look like me, who quick to, if Kamala want my vote, she need to explain herself to me what she gonna do for the black people. Listen, stop asking the motherfucking black woman to explain herself to y'all. If y'all ain't willing to ask a motherfucking white man, then explain himself. Y'all cool with the white man not explaining himself. She want my vote, she need to explain herself. You ain't asking the white man to explain his self. Well, she been in the office already 3.5 years. Why she ain't do all the things she said she was gonna do? Cause she ain't the president, that's why. When you go to the McDonald's, that lady that's the manager, she don't get to do what she want to do. She might can give you some fries, but she can't change the price of that quarter pound up there. That ain't that lady White House. She just like the manager, you fall in line. But y'all know this, most of y'all, but y'all just want something to say.
So we're asking 800-585-1051, what are your thoughts? We'll start with you, Lauren. What do you think?
I feel like on my timeline on Twitter, from what I see, people are asking questions. People are questioning, like, the biggest thing I see is like people asking, where was she? Why didn't she do this? And the stuff about the black man. But a lot of those questions and those things have been like debunked, or like people are putting more information out there now.
But shouldn't people ask? She's a politician, right?
100%.
And she represents us and wants to represent us. So no matter if she's white, black, green, yellow, man, woman, if somebody's representing us, wouldn't you want to ask them as much as possible to feel comfortable with them?
That's the reason for the campaign season. That's exactly what's supposed to be done. I just think because she's the new kid at school, like, it seems like it's a lot more her way.
She's not the new kid at school. She's a grown woman, and she's been the second in charge of this whole country for the last 3.5 years. She's not new. Right now, you're listening to The Breakfast Club. They had this conversation about the comments Plies made, saying that black men can't question Kamala Harris. They also had some callers. Let's keep listening.
But I think that that's just what comes with it. And I just also think, too, people are sensitive when it comes to black women. Some people are, and rightfully so.
But she's a politician, right? We did it to Biden. We did it to Barack. We did it to Donald Trump. We do it to any politician. We should be doing it more to politicians,
100%,
right?
But I think no matter what, this whole campaign season, and even when she wins, there's always going to be some sensitivity from certain people because she's a woman and she's a black woman.
Just stop it. This Indian lady is not black. And if no one can ask her any questions, then why is she running for president? She's been the only person ever to be allowed to get away with what she's been getting away with. No interviews, no press conferences. She's trying to change rules to the debates. Why is this lady getting all this special treatment? That's how I know she's not black. But go ahead, y'all keep playing this game.
So I think that's where Plies is leaning in, like he's jumping in on that state, but you're supposed to ask questions of people. It just feels like it's all coming down on her at once because she's the new kid at school.
Plies is absolutely positively wrong. If people are asking questions, that's great. I don't even know why Plies is making this a black woman versus black man thing. This isn't about black men and black women. It's about elected officials and potential voters. The whole point of campaign season is for candidates to go out there and explain to the American people why they should be the one in charge of this country. Votes are earned, not given. And they are earned through you going out there and explaining yourself. Vice President Kamala Harris has to go out there and explain her agenda and why she's the person for the job. Former President Donald Trump has to go out there and explain his agenda and why he should be the person to get his job again, or get the job again. I don't understand Plies or any black person for that matter telling black people to just settle. Just accept whatever the candidate is giving you. Don't ask any questions.
Yeah, but
just
they've been
vote.
doing it.
They don't have to explain anything to us.
They've been doing it for a long time. Even with Biden, when we ask questions to Biden, well, it's the best of two evils. You know what I mean? You got to pick one. But no, if you have questions, people should be able to ask.
Listen,
that's the point of a politician, right? They're supposed to represent us, represent our district, represent our country. Shouldn't we ask?
And by the way, they should be explaining without us asking. That's the whole point of them doing these press conferences and these meetings.
Yeah.
The same way these politicians have meetings for their donors and they have rallies and press conferences explaining themselves and their agendas to certain groups, they should have to explain themselves to black people the same way. Plies is 1,000,000,000% wrong.
Wow, Charlamagne and DJ Envy, they're right on this one. Do you know it's been over a month? You can go to this lady's website and her agenda, her policies, is still nothing there? Absolutely nothing. I've never seen a presidential candidate that's been able to get away with the stuff that this woman is getting away with. She can dodge the media. She can ignore voters. She don't even have to have an agenda. No, y'all keep calling her a black woman? There's no way that will fly. If this was a black woman and not Rachel Dolezal Jr., she would have to work twice as hard. Not be able to skate through like this woman she's been skating through her whole life.
But let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
Jefferson.
Jefferson, good morning. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from 914 Westchester, Yonkers, White Plains, Greenburgh, New York. What's that?
All right. Did you go to the Locks concert this weekend? The Locks was performing in New York. They brought out LL. I see them brought out Ghostface.
One thing they're going to do is put on a concert.
I actually didn't go, but I heard about it. I wish I did go.
All right.
Shout out the Locks, though.
Absolutely. Jefferson, so what's your thoughts? What's your opinion?
All right, so I'm a professional New Yorker, right? I don't know what Plies was really saying. I wish he could really communicate. He's a grown man. He's over 40. He should communicate better. But everyone thinking Kamala doesn't have to answer. We're not, even if I'm not voting for her or I'm voting for her, you still got to explain yourself on this type of level of job.
That's right.
I know we want to support off of the complexion, but like we need to know that you're a good representation. Look, we had Obama. He was a good representation for us, a good entryway, a good marker. Kamala do the same. A lot of us, not just melanated people, but a lot of humans are just looking at her for just like a direction. Just show us that you know what you're doing, so we can really pump you how you want us to pump you out here in the public.
I just don't know how we're expected to pump up somebody who basically said F us. She wasn't going to do nothing for us, but went on to get billions for her people. $26 billion in 1 year for the AAPI community, not the black community, for her people. In the last 2 fiscal years, 22 and 23, it was nearly $45 billion. But she said nothing specifically for us? How do we get behind somebody like that?
She's applying for a job. That what Plies is saying is like going to a room when you get requested for a job interview and don't say nothing. I'm supposed to just sit there and look at you.
Right.
If they took it easy on her, then that would be a whole issue too. Like if people didn't ask this of her because she is a black woman, it would be like y'all giving her a pass because of color. The same way people upset when people saying they voting for her because of her color.
Hello, who's this?
This is Kia.
Kia, good morning. What are your thoughts on what Plies said?
I feel like I agree with him. Like, truly, I feel like people really don't want a black woman in the office, and that's the main problem. Like, y'all put Trump in there with a person that had no experience on political reasons. But when a black woman want to come in there and have experience and did for us, nobody want to give her a chance. Everybody shutting her off.
Here we go with the baby bot bimbo babble. First off, she did nothing for us, and she already told us she wasn't going to do anything for us. Second, she's not a black woman. And what is this experience you're talking about? You're talking about how she destroyed black people using the criminal justice system as DA and AG in California? Or are you talking about her experience as VP? She's supposed to be over the border, and she let millions and millions of these people come in, and now they've been dumped into black neighborhoods. That experience?
So you think Donald Trump didn't have to explain himself? You think Donald Trump didn't have to go out there to the American people and campaign? You didn't think Donald Trump...
No.
So all of those lies Donald Trump was telling folks and all of these things he was saying he was going to do, you don't think that wasn't explaining himself?
No, Donald Trump, I feel like was an act, and an act that everybody loved at the time. And an act for what? I don't know, but it was an act, and it's like
it was an act, but he was still explaining himself. That is what campaigning is. When you see these people on TV and they're having these rallies and these press conferences and these interviews, huh?
If you're acting, I'm being a character. I'm not myself. So how I'm going to give a person a true explanation on what I'm doing if I don't really know what I'm doing? It's an ad. It's not the truth. It's not what I'm truly trying to give.
Once again,
what have Trump did?
This woman, her elevator don't go all the way up. Especially if she can't see that Kamala the cosplaying chameleon is a character herself. She's a pretendian chameleon. She's pretending to be a black woman. She won't put anything on paper because we've already caught her flip-flopping over and over on issues. She's the one literally reading a script, reading the teleprompter, won't do interviews, won't answer any questions, and everything is pre-rehearsed. Like, really?
Again, when you see people having these rallies, these elected officials having these rallies, these press conferences, these interviews, they are explaining themselves to the American people. Vice President Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are doing an interview with NBC News this week.
She should have done 10, 20 interviews by now. She's been in this race for over a month. And you mean to tell me there's been no interviews, no press conferences, no magazines, no newspapers, no local radio, no syndicated radio, no local television, no cable news, nothing? And then she can't do the interview alone. She gotta have that guy with her. No, we wanna talk to Kamala. She wanna be president. She wanna be the head honcho. How you gonna talk to Putin and you can't talk to us?
because they're going to explain themselves to the American people. Just like last week at the DNC when she gave her speech, she was explaining herself to the American people.
And she should. And she should explain herself.
They all should.
Yes.
To say an elected official shouldn't have to explain himself is insane to me.
It sounds crazy. I look at it like is we're hiring them for a job, and you have to make me want to hire you. You have to make me want to vote. You have to tell me your policies. You got to tell me what your plans are. And if I don't like it, I don't have to hire you. I'm not hiring you because of anything but what's my best interest, and you got to explain that.
It'll calm down though now because she's starting to address more things. Like people will just really have questions. I think it will.
No, it won't.
Because it'll be repeated. People will get tired of hearing. It's just. I'm trying to tell you, it's just new. That's why everybody feels like it's hitting her so hard.
You know why it won't calm down? Because every time she puts something on the table, it's gonna be scrutinized. They're gonna break it apart. Just like when every time Donald Trump puts something on the table, it's scrutinized, break it apart. JD Vance been explaining these cat lady comments for 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And he should have to.
But do you not feel like it's so? I agree with that, all of it. But do you not feel like it's heightened a bit or sensationalized a bit because of her being a woman and a black woman?
I think it's heightened and sensationalized for her because she came on to the campaign with 90 days to win?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of the reasons. They threw her in at the last minute. Nobody voted for her. They did not let the people decide. They allowed the billionaire donors to decide for us. Then on top of that, nobody's holding her accountable in the media, and we see it. ABC is not holding her accountable. NBC is not holding her accountable. CBS is not holding her accountable. So of course, we see that. We see that we're the only ones holding her accountable. And if we didn't ask these questions, nobody would say anything.
Well, people got 90 days to make a decision. So, after the debate ended, and then, a week later, or however it was, she became the nominee, or not officially the nominee, but everybody said she was going to be at the top of the ticket. Mm-hmm. She didn't give an interview for 3 weeks. You know why everybody made that such a big deal? Because she only had 90 plus days to win. Now she got 70 plus days to win. Because of the nature of her campaign and how she became the nominee, that's why she's going to get even more scrutiny.
Well, we're 800-585-1051. We're also on live. Glam Millionaire 6 says, y'all saying we didn't question the white man. I'm 41, around Plies age. A lot of y'all don't worry about politics until it's a popularity issue like this one. We should question everybody.
Everybody. I don't know who didn't question the white man. That's all I did. Y'all was on my head for questioning Biden too much. Don't you talk about my Uncle Joe like that, Charlamagne. Don't you talk about my master now. Don't you cut that out. You tell my master to drop out. How dare you talk about my master like that, Charlamagne?
Now somebody says he didn't say she shouldn't explain herself. Just stop being extra hard on herself.
No, huh?
I guess talking about what Plies was saying about Kamala Harris.
Herself. They basically. People are being too hard on her. Like, she's getting unfair treatment. That's what that person is.
So are people being too hard on Trump? They're running for president of the United States of America. This is what comes with it. Well, by the way, she knows that. This ain't Kamala Harris. This ain't the vice president's first rodeo.
But also, too, Michelle.
She was the first attorney general that was a black Indian woman. The first senator that was an African American woman in California, an Indian woman. First vice president that was an Indian woman. She's used to this.
Mm-hmm. Well,
she's built for this.
Used to having her name mispronounced.
It's Kamala, though, guys. Kamala. I know you guys. It's Kamala. All right. Well, let's take some phone calls. 800-585-1051. Hello. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Chris.
Chris, good morning. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida.
Florida. All right. What did you think about what Plies said?
Yeah, so I listen to you guys every morning, and I got to say, you guys say you're not very biased, but everything you guys say is all about one side. It's never bipartisan, man. I gotta be honest. That's why I'm calling.
Explain yourself. Why do you say that?
Well, because Plies literally just said, don't ask questions. She's a black woman. We don't need to ask questions. Just vote for it. And then, Charlamagne was at the DNC. He said, I like the message. You didn't tell us about a message.
I did tell you about the message, but I also disagree with Plies. I feel like every politician should have to explain themselves, including Vice President Kamala Harris. Like, I think it's ridiculous to tell an elected official not to explain themselves to the people that they want to vote for them.
Absolutely. I mean, the other day, too, you had somebody on that was, like, pretty much saying the same thing. Like, I'm going to vote for her because she's black.
That's Icewear Veza from Detroit.
He was being sarcastic. He was being sarcastic, though. He was saying that's what people want him to feel and want him to think.
Right. But I feel, you guys have a huge following. A lot of people listen to your message. I think it's awesome that you guys come on and spread the side so that we can get, the right people in. But I just feel I listen every morning. I'm like, man, it's a little too one-sided.
I don't see how. We've had everybody from one side. We have people from the other side. We're independents.
Let me tell you why I love doing what I do. I love doing what we do here on the Breakfast Club. Because earlier this year, y'all said we was MAGA.
Definitely said we were MAGA.
Now we back being liberal shills. Y'all got to pick. Y'all, which one is it? Like, which one is it?
Hello, who's this?
KP.
Hey, KP. Good morning. What's your thoughts?
So I want black people to understand that, yes, transparency is key when you're running a campaign. However, there is a process once you're running through policies. It has to go through Senate, it has to go through Congress. The president does not also have the ultimate power as we assume. So y'all just keep up, read the books, and y'all learn a little bit more.
You know what people like her don't know, but they're always telling other people to go read? The interesting part about Kamala Harris's position as VP, not only is she a part of the executive branch, but because she has that position, she is also the president of the Senate. During the last 3 years, she broke the tie on some key legislation, but they never bring that up.
What that got to do with what Plies said, though?
Plies said that she the president, she don't have to tell us what's going on, but that's not true.
Oh, I agree. That's right. That's exactly right. That was the question, man. I don't know why you tried to call up here and shame us for not knowing civics.
Hello, who's this?
Shatara.
Hey, good morning. What's your thoughts?
Good morning. I feel like as black men, they need to ask themselves, what have they done for the community as a black man? What have they done for our younger black boys? Instead of why are they so upset with Kamala and she needs to explain herself. No, explain why you haven't done what you need to do in your community before you sit and ask her what has she done.
Here we go with that strong deflection. When somebody's running for the president of the United States, we have the right to question them. Asking Tyrone, Pookie, Ray, or Marcus what he's done for the community, that's got nothing to do with this woman running for president. Star Cooler done called up, and in her mind, she's making so much sense with this baby bot bimbo babble.
I agree with
all they have done was,
I agree with what you're saying as far as, before you point the finger at somebody else, you should ask yourself what you're doing. But these are elected officials that are asking us for our votes to put them in these positions of power. So I don't think there's anything wrong with asking an elected official to explain themselves.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that, but they need to ask themselves first. My thing is, what have you done? She's the vice president. She's not the president yet.
Right, but she's running off a policy and things that she wants to do. And if you don't necessarily agree with her plans of what she wants to do, you can question that.
And
yeah, you can. But have they questioned the other?
They question Donald Trump all the
time. What are you gonna do?
All Donald Trump does is get questioned.
Yeah,
all Donald Trump does is get critiqued.
People are just so like it's normal now. You're mute to it. It's because she's a new kid at school, and it's the thing to talk about.
I don't know why people think that she's better than Jess Hilarious. She said this 4 or 5 times that Kamala Harris is a new kid at school. This woman is 60 years old and she's been VP for 3.5 years. She is not new at all. She's currently in office. She's not running as a candidate that's not already at the White House.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's your name, brother?
It's D.
D from where?
Charleston.
Okay, Charleston.
843, what's happening?
What's your thoughts?
Hey, what's happening, Charlamagne? Hey, man, I want to say this. I ain't even all the way mad at Plies, but it's kind of, hey, Pat Williams, stand up. You can't be a smart, dumb brother. You know, like that. Like, it's smart to question the white man, but at the same time, you can't be ignorant not to question anybody who's running for anything.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? They got that problem and say, show me a rich politician, I'll show you a corrupt one. We can't say here, I grew up with this lady. We don't know her like that, respectfully. Act like it's not his aunt. He's speaking like his aunt or something.
And listen,
that's because a lot of people feel like that about her, though.
And by the way,
not respectfully, I get it, but she ain't.
Hey, I'm saying this as a supporter of the vice president. Okay, yes, question her. Yes, ask her to explain herself. And I don't know why we do this with every Democratic candidate, black people. Don't question Joe Biden. Don't question Kamala Harris. Cut it out. Black people, don't settle. Ask questions. Make these presidential candidates explain themselves, especially if you are undecided with your vote.
Yeah, comical_007, I think he put it right. He said, this sounds silly. Y'all are supposed to question the people who are representing you. You just don't want somebody that you don't know what they are focused on or what their policies are. You are supposed to question the people that represent us. It just sounds right.
Stop it. And Plies, you're offending the vice president. She wouldn't want that because she knows what comes with this. She's been in politics for a long time. The VP is tougher than most. Trust me, as soon as she became at the top of the ticket, even before that, she knew what comes with all of this. Don't get me wrong, she's still a human being at the end of the day. But trust me, she's built for the scrutiny. She's built for the criticism. She's built to have to go out there and explain herself to the American people.
And like Charlamagne said, and Lauren said this as well, you should be questioning everybody. Your local Congress people, your mayors, the people that represent your district, the people that you are voting for, right. even the principal at your school. You should be questioning those people that represent you, that's going to be pushing policies that's supposed to be affecting you. You're supposed to be questioning all these people.
I've been supporting Kamala Harris since she was in the Senate in 2018 when we first brought her up here on the Breakfast Club, and I sat here and looked at her and told her I think she's going to be president of the United States of America one day. And guess what? Throughout that whole time, I've supported her, but I've also been critical of her. I've also asked her tough questions. That's just what you're supposed to do. So don't listen to nobody telling you that you shouldn't be asking these elected officials and these people running for office to explain themselves. That's the whole point of campaigning.
I agree.
They go out there and explain yourself to people.
Listen, it's been almost a month and a half since Biden dropped out and endorsed Kamala, the cosplaying chameleon. She's been able to go over 5-6 weeks without a press conference, without interviews. She stubbed over 1,000 black reporters, and they're all still stumping for her, by the way. She even stubbed everybody in the mainstream media. And guess what? They're still stumping for her too. This lady is only treating the voters like this because they are allowing her to do it. The media is helping her. Everybody is allowing her to get away with this, and that's how I know they all know that she's really not black. This Indian lady is getting away with stuff that black people could never get away with, or any of the white candidates before her. Everybody will be calling them out. That's how I know something is really going on. But I digress. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below in the comments. Let me know what you think about this below. Special thank you to Byron H. I appreciate you, Byron, for all of your support. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.